everyone, this is T-Carp or Travis Carpenter reading my dad's book, The Sasquatch Awareness Project. This is written by Scott Carpenter. And I've got a friend with me here today. This is my friend Turkey Man. Please do me a favor and follow us on the T-Carp Tman channel, or you can follow me at the T-Carp channel. But we're going to get right into this and read. We're on chapter 1, part 2. We're going to be starting on page 12. We're going to be talking about the written language of Bigfoot and Sasquatch. So, the Sasquatch has exhibited the ability to use a symbolic form of written language, which is phonetically based. They also commonly use structures made of limbs, symbols on the ground formed from twigs, limbs stuck in the ground from rock stacking to communicate messages to each other. While researching the Sasquatch, I discovered they were using symbolics to communicate with me. Below are the pictures of symbols that I found on a stone and the symbolic letters they form. I'm going to show you guys that real quick. So you guys can kind of screenshot that. So they form so this is what Dad had, and they formed a C. And we're going to talk about what letters that stands for. I left a smiley face and returned to find a C formation. The most common form of symbolic used in North America is known as the Cree symbolic. Researching Cree and Cherokee symbolic, I discovered some interesting facts. The C and the smaller circle are symbols read from left to right. The word that is formed is C. Checking the phonetics for this, again, possible word, I found that these symbols could represent one of the following sounds in Cree symbolic: Vata, Wata, Vada, Wada. I cross-referenced this with several Native American languages, including Cheyenne, Cherokee, Cree, and Blackfoot. I also compared the symbolic with the list of Bigfoot words from Mary Green's book, 50 Years with Bigfoot, Tennessee Chronicles of Coexistence. This revealed something extremely interesting. Wa can be used to mean come here, or come and see, or visit. Ta, depending on the inflection, can mean brother or friend. Put these together, and the possible meaning left for me were one of the following: visit friend brother, or come here brother, or come visit friend / brother. Spoken language. The Sasquatch have a native language that many describe as Samaria chatter because of the speed and manner in which it is spoken. The Sasquatch can speak on the exhale and the inhale. The Sasquatch can also speak and understand English depending on the area of the country they live in. The Sasquatch can speak a blended language consisting of local Native American tongue combined with English, Spanish, French, etc. The Sasquatch have also demonstrated a knowledge of the Native American Sign Language. One example of the Sasquatch using sign language occurred on a camping trip where the parents of a deaf child noticed their son facing the woods and signing to an unseen subject. When the child walked back to the parents, they asked their son, "Who were you talking to in the woods?" Their son's response, "The big hairy man." During my research, I recorded a brief yelling exchange between two Sasquatch. The recording was analyzed by a retired United States Navy cryptologic linguist and current faculty member of Wentworth College, Lexington, Missouri, teaching Russian, Persian, and Spanish, as well as several philosophy and religion courses, Scott Nelson. Below is the Sasquatch language transcript from Scott Nelson. You can find this on my dad's YouTube channel, the blogtalkradio.com midnight. It talks about all this stuff and the recording standards. I'm going to actually show you guys this real quick so that you can see that, maybe screenshot that. Do that. So the transcribers note, clearly these utterances are produced with the same vocal apparatus as a human, but with resonant and tonal qualities beyond human, such as those evident in the Barry Moorhead tapes. There are at least 2 creatures producing utterances in that video that you guys need to go look up, being that the first conversational turn overlapses. The witnesses reported that at the time of their recordings they thought utterances sounded like playful teenagers. However, there seems to be more alarm in the voices than playfulness. And that was from the transcriber's note. So that's very, very interesting there. They also have coded communications. The Sasquatch will also communicate with one another using calls, knocks, whistles, screams, and whoops. This form of communication is the most commonly heard and popularized on the show Finding Bigfoot. It's also the least understood form of communication, given that the Sasquatch are the only ones that know the purpose for each of these calls and the true meaning. While it fools many into thinking these are simple methods of communication, in my opinion, it shows their high intellect. Stick structures, rock piles, symbols made on the ground with sticks, single footprints, animal and bird calls are also used for coded communication. The Sasquatch have an agreed upon system to use these methods. A prime example is leaving a single footprint out in the wide open where anyone can see it. At first glance, this would not be something one would consider covert. However, a friend of mine that was attached to Special Forces groups pointed out that this is a common tactic when working behind enemy lines. If the group had split up and would later rendezvous, a prearranged signal would be used. In many cases, a signal was a single boot print left in the middle of a trail easily to see. When this was encountered, the prearranged signal may be, after the boot print, go 25 paces and there will be a rock on the side of the trail. Enter the woods on the opposite side of the trail of the rock, go 100 yards, that will be the rendezvous location. This is just one example of how Sasquatch go to extreme measures to move covertly, remain hidden, and the intellect that they possess. So, some social structure. They have clans or family groups. The Sasquatch live in family groups usually consisting of male and female, and 1 or 2 children, and that can vary in age from infants to young adults. These family groups are linked together to form clans that are usually blood related. These family groups live separate from our family groups, except for special occasions and planned gatherings. We currently do not know when and where these gatherings take place. We only have reports that they do occur from time to time from those who claim to be in regular contact with a Sasquatch family group. You got loners. The occasional Sasquatch that is encountered may be what is known as a loner, but this is the exception, not the rule. If you encounter one Sasquatch, most likely there are others nearby. The loner could be a bachelor male, an elderly, or outcast for some reason. This reason could include breaking clan family rules, being a general troublemaker and drawing too much attention, or what we would consider a criminal element. A Sasquatch that is dangerous not only to the Sasquatch but also humans. The loner could also just be traveling between 2 family groups, so just be aware of that. Mate pairing. The Sasquatch appear to select a mate and stay with that mate for a long period of time to raise children. The Sasquatch used the before mentioned gathering in order to find a mate. The Sasquatch will also leave the family group and go in search of other groups or mates outside the gatherings. It is most common for the female to leave her family group and go live or associate with the male's family group. In some cases, the couple split off, form independent family groups, while in the other situations, the new couple stay close to the male's family group. Habitation range. The Sasquatch inhabit a home range. They move within this range based on the season and availability of food resources In my area, of the country, eastern Tennessee, the size of the home range is approximately 200 square miles. I have heard reports of Sasquatch traveling long distances for special gatherings, but return to their home range after a gathering is complete. Conflicts. The Sasquatch have been known to engage in harrowing fights over mates. In Mary Green and Janice Carter's book, 50 Years with Bigfoot, the Tennessee Chronicles of Coexistence, Janice tells of a fight between Fox, the male patriarch of the clan that lived around her grandfather's farm, and a rogue male that desired Fox's mate. The fight was extremely fierce, and it could be heard and felt throughout the countryside. The fight became so brutal that Janice's grandfather intervened, shooting the rogue male several times with a shotgun before it disengaged the fight and fled. The Sasquatch also can have conflicts with other cryptids, such as the Dogman. The Dogman gets its name from having a dog head on a humanoid body. There are several traditional werewolf-type creatures which resemble the werewolves portrayed in the movies and television. It has been reported that there is a fierce rivalry between the two groups. Skirmishes will sometimes break out between and resulting in deaths on both sides. See the end of this chapter for a composite sketch I created from the actual video Dad captured of a Bigfoot. General demeanor. The Sasquatch's general demeanor is to avoid being observed by humans at almost all cost, while at the same time they will sneak extremely close and watch humans from hidden locations. They have been described by my friend David Pilates as SEAL Team 6 on steroids. This aptly describes their obsession to remain hidden and move with extreme stealth. The Sasquatch are extremely similar in attitude towards humans as American Indians were to the influx of outsiders during the settling of the North American continent. Some tribes were friendly towards settlers, other tribes were indifferent and avoided contact at all possible costs. Then there were those tribes that were hostile, killing every settler they came upon in situations favored it. One must realize that Sasquatch has a different morality than we do. One that is not governed by the same type of conscience as we humans possess. Their rule set for living life is at the intersection with humans and is not ours. Their rule set for living life and interaction with humans is not ours. Their customs and ways are not ours and are completely foreign to our way of thinking. Humans in general are ignorant to this, and the Sasquatch have no patience or desire to tolerate our ignorance. In my opinion, most Sasquatch view us as lesser beings in the same category as animals. The decision to kill us is always on the list of options for most of them when encountering a human. That is a hard concept to fathom, but that is how most of them view us. If killing us makes the most logical sense in a situation, then they will dispatch a human with the same attitude as if we were just another animal like a deer or squirrel. No remorse, no regret, not a second thought. They might fear repercussions as far as a flood of humans in the area and the disruption of their normal routine while search and rescue take place, but they have no issues dispatching us just as we dispatch a nuisance varmint. This is one of the main reasons I give the warning not to interact or seek them out. When I am asked, are they dangerous? I consistently say, yes, they can be. There are good ones. Sasquatch are benevolent toward humans and choose to be tolerant or even friendly. There are also the bad ones that are malevolent and would do us harm if it was to their benefit. Since the Sasquatch avoid humans at all costs and almost universally refuse to interact or communicate with us, one does not know which Sasquatch they are encountering. There is no sign on their chest declaring their intentions. This is why I advise people to treat Sasquatch and the rare encounters as if they are encountering a bear, a wild boar, mountain lion, or other dangerous wild animals. One can never assume that the attitude and demeanor. One can never assume the attitude and demeanor of a Sasquatch. And this is my first capture of a Sasquatch in 2008. Note the black patch on the end of the nose. This trait was reported before in my area of East Tennessee. So let me show you some pictures real quick of Dad's stuff. I don't know if you can see that or not, but Dad's got plenty of pictures on that thing, and we can show you that. But anyway, guys, that was chapter 1 of the Sasquatch Awareness Project. I want to again reiterate that Dad really didn't want people to think they were just big friendly stuff.